Take my hand and together we will vlog. Alright, so I intended to start tonight by doing a video about hats. Because over here I have a huge pile of hats. Two different pirate hats. Where's the other pirate hat? There's another one. Oh, there it is. Two different pirate hats. You know, the one that I use whenever I try to be Raiden. Top hat, Santa Claus, green, Luigi, my Musketeer, and I guess it is my 3 video show, whatever. In this last week's episode of 3 video show, I mentioned hats and head coverings and hoodies and whatnot, and this hat is one that I said that I would wear today, and then I forgot about it and had to search all over the house for it. I actually kind of wish I had a camera crew or somebody else to walk around with the camera while I searched for this hat, because I was throwing things all over the place and it would have been pretty funny. But anyway, so that was the only thing I really intended, and I intended for this to be a pretty quick video, make some jokes, have fun with it. But as it would be, whenever I clicked onto YouTube, I noticed a video which was titled "It's a YouTube Thing" by missxrojas. Her name's Rosanna, and she is a much more popular and more famous YouTuber than I am, but she was doing a video in response to Michael, who did a video in response to Charlie Mcdonnel, charlieissocoollike. And then I ended up watching some of the other videos by other people who responded to Charlie and said they were inspired by him and stuff like that. Basically, Charlie points out that he's been scared, he's had writer's block / just creative blockages in general, anxiety about that, worried about people liking him and the like. And he points out in that he feels like wanting to be liked or accepted by other people is just part of the human condition, but then in a way, as YouTubers and people who create things, that, you know, we're kind of going through this, or people go through this whole creative period in a different way. I think how people deal with it is different, but for me personally, I don't know that will people like this is ever a thought in my mind. Those who know me well know that I have an air of confidence about me, and yet I also in some way have somehow maintained a bit of this childlike, I'm going to do whatever I want, if that makes sense. Not that I'm cocky, but such as whenever I've had a 2-foot mohawk off the top of my head, or Liberty spikes as a haircut, or when I randomly decide that I just want to wear my Spider-Man costume all day. I don't think, wow, people are going to think this is awesome. And even the times that I do, it still surprises me the level to which people think it's awesome, if that makes sense. Heck, I was even nervous whenever I did my Halloween costume of Walter White in the whole meth cooking lab suit outfit, that it was going to be like the costume of the season, basically, that it was too easy and people weren't going to think it was good. But I got caught up in creating that. And being that character for that day and just having fun with that day. And I think that's something that I've always maintained, is that if I'm going to make a video or if I'm going to do something, sometimes I just get caught up in the creative process and I kind of forget, well, will people really like this? Yeah, analytically, and as a person who does analyze things, that thought has to cross my mind, and I try to make things that are quality. Heck, even right now, I'm direct uploading a video because I wasn't in the mood to shoot something, and I plan on just direct uploading, and it's like 11:20 at night. Bunch of different reasons, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's a little part of me that is a slacker and a little bit lazy, and that's why I just continue to push through and make something, as opposed to it has to be the best thing ever. Now, in Rosanna's video, she mentioned the idea that we all have to dare to be terrible, or, you know, dare to fail type thing. And I think that's something that I've been able to do. Now, those that have followed me for a while know that I was a big part of producing a web series called Bags and Boards, based out of a local comic book store, and where I, for season 2 of it, became actor, writer, director, head of writing team, producer, really pushing this project. And I got burned out on it in a lot of ways. 23 episodes in, end of that season, I don't know, I got tired of it. But we produced an episode every week. And as I've said before, just like with other parts of my life, whether it's the Bible study groups that I'm a part of, or friends that for a period I get used to, that's just who I'm going to hang out with every Wednesday. There are certain levels where I've used routine to help me out. I feel like it applies to being creative. That sometimes I just say, okay, well, I have to do this at this time, or I have to. My mustache is sideways. Sorry. I have to. I have to produce something. I have to make a video every day. You know what I mean? That's how I started, was with the commitment, not with the quality. And I think Charlie started in a different place, and that's why there's a problem. I started with the drive of, well, I've tried to make things, other things or whatever, and yet going for quality was tough, and so I went for quantity, and I figured quality will just come, and then I'll just push that to the front of what I've made, and that's kind of what I do. I make a lot of random things, and then I solidified into one cool idea, 3-video show, where I've been a part of making advanced comics, or some short films here and there, and even the one I'm making right now. I was at a point where I was depressed and hated that I wasn't being cast in anything, not getting calls from my agent or anybody, and so I finally just said, well, here's a funny idea, and I, got with a friend of mine who said that he'd be interested in writing the script, got with a director friend of mine who said he'd be interested in shooting it, and I was a producer and an actor on a project that I'm not even editing, and I don't know, it kept me doing something. And maybe that's the other thing, is maybe collaboration is something that could be helpful, that you're able to be the guy that just throws an idea out there and then it gets made into something, and then in the process you're driven to make something else. So anyway, this video was all about me trying to find this hat, and then the YouTube videos I mentioned are in the description below. This is now 6-7 minutes long. That's ridiculous. If you're still watching this, thank you. Goodbye.